Good morning, everybody. June 22nd, 2021, 9:18 a.m. And I got you here on the good old USGS again, and we got something to talk about in New York. That's right, my hometown stomping grounds, New York State, had one of these phantom earthquakes yesterday that we've been talking about that is not being picked up by the USGS. As you can see right here, 1 day all magnitudes. I'll even go to 7 days all magnitudes, and you are not going to see this quake here. You're not going to see the New Jersey quakes we talked about, and you're certainly not going to see the South Carolina quake we talked about and proved yesterday. Now, what's happening in New York is quite interesting. Remember, we've talked about the experimental explosion. We talked about these 3 quakes because they popped up on the USGS, but they have not talked about why we had quakes in New Jersey. The South Carolina quake we had yesterday, and now this New York mystery boom that was felt by many people. And we're going to take a look at those reports right here, because some of these people reporting this said this was the scariest thing they've ever experienced. Could you imagine that? Going through a situation that seems like an earthquake where your world is shaking around you, and it's not even registered as an earthquake, and in fact, it's not registered as anything right now. This website here has this as a reported quake near Utica, New York, and when we click on the information, it was about 16 hours ago, and I'm going to get us the longitude and latitude. We're going to look at Google Earth to check out exactly where this took place, and now we're going to read the user reports, because this is where things get real. This is where people are involved, and people explain their experiences. And here is the chart with each person that felt this exact event. So we're going to zoom in, and I hope you're seeing it too, but down just north of Philadelphia. This is where we recorded that quake a few days ago that was not on the USGS. I just want to read this to you really quick, because this might be involved with the New York situation, as it was recorded at the same time. I was going to the bathroom and noticed the water moving around in the bowl. I thought it was maybe just me walking into the room, but I couldn't duplicate the water moving around the toilet bowl. So that's one report. Now listen to these reports that are actually around the area of Utica where this actually happened. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little closer. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different reports here. Watch this. So we're going to click on this one right here. Now, when I read these to you, keep in mind that this could be an earthquake, or it could be the sonic boom from a meteor. And here are some of the other reports. Let's take a look at this report. This was actually 16.5 kilometers southwest of the epicenter of this issue in New York. I was in my car, and when I looked out, I realized that my car was swaying side to side, so I ran inside and hid under my door frame. Now that, my friends, is not a sonic boom. A sonic boom is one of those big one-time explosions you hear echoing in the sky, and that's about it. An earthquake is when the ground is shaking or swaying back and forth as if you're in a boat. That was my experience living in California. When we would have little earthquakes, it would feel like the floor was swaying on a boat, or light choppy water. Nothing super crazy until you got to the higher Richter scale quakes, when you would actually get shaking going on. And now take a look at this report. Mohawk, New York. I've been here many times. Light shaking, complex rolling, and tilting in multiple directions for 20 to 30 seconds. If that's not an earthquake, I don't know what is. Here is a report 27.3 kilometers north of the epicenter. It was very scary. So this wasn't just some quick explosion feeling like we had with the experimental explosion off the coast of Florida. A few people said they felt that, and it was one quick noise and then it was gone. But we're dealing with a real life situation that took place in Utica, New York yesterday, and nobody knows what happened. The USGS is not reporting an earthquake in this area, as we already looked. We checked all magnitudes, and we're dealing with the same situation in South Carolina from yesterday. So 2 separate situations, just a few hours apart from each other, which are verified by human beings, as we could see in our reports right here. Some of them saying this is the most scary thing they've ever been through, and still we have no answers as to what went on in Utica, New York. So I guess in a way I'm asking for your help. Let's see if we could figure this out. I do know people in New York. Obviously, I'm going to reach out to some family members and stuff like that and see if I can pinpoint exactly what happened here. But what we do know is what's important. We know that people felt this. We know that people thought it was super scary. We had one guy run from his car back to his house, and another person reporting that it lasted about a half a minute. Now that, in my mind, is either a very, very large underground explosion that was felt for about 30 seconds as it continued to rumble, or we had an earthquake that is going unreported in the northeast of the United States. Or, of course, we could be looking towards the skies. Maybe it was a meteor. Maybe some video will come in that can show the source of this crazy situation that's taking place. Just because it didn't happen in your home state doesn't mean that New York isn't going nuts about this. I can assure you there are thousands of people in New York trying to find out what's happening here, and I can assure you I'm going to figure this out one way or another. If any of you happen to live in New York or know someone that lives in that Utica area, that upstate New York part of of the state. Maybe try to reach out to them, see what's going on, because once again, we are not going to see this on the USGS. You would be seeing it right now, and you would be seeing that South Carolina quake that we found yesterday, and we showed actual human reports for, so we know that took place, and we know that this took place yesterday, about 16 hours ago in New York. There's no denying it whatsoever, and I just want you to think about this as we close out this video, and think about what must have been going on for this person to say these words. Again, 16.5 kilometers away from the epicenter of whatever this was, this person was in their car, and when I looked out, I realized that my car was swaying side to side. I ran inside and hid under my door frame. I think that says enough right there. So as the posting of this video, my friends, it is now 9:51 a.m. and we have no answer as to what could possibly cause a 3.8. Now look at that number. Tell me that number is not shockingly close to the 3.9 that was caused by the experimental explosion. So what is going on the east coast of the United States as far as seismic activity and it going unreported? Your guess is as good as mine, my friends. Any questions or concerns, please leave down in the comments section or feel free to contact me via the info box on the channel. Shout out to Canada. These mystery booms are getting pretty close to you guys as well. I hope you have a great day. I'll be back with any other updates later on. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.